Okay, so I've been working on this photo right now, and just wanted to show one thing. So really quick, let me just run through the process so far. So started off with, so we have this photo right here, and we also have just this foreground layer, or not foreground layer, but the layer with my subject in it. So that's my subject right there, Antonio. And then my background layer is just another shot I took a bit up and to the right because I liked the way that everything overlapped up here, so I want to incorporate that into it. I really enjoy taking photos where you have your climber in it, but then you have another element that's just barely not going to fit in your composition, then you pull it into your composition. And I just really like the look of that, I just think it looks really great. And so you can see how hide a bunch of these. Okay, so we can see here. So this is my background layer. So you can see I kind of shrunk it, put it up a little bit, and then right here is a sky layer, and then you can see I have a new group right here with a hue saturation layer, and then got just my sky in there, and I also have a layer mask, that way my hue saturation only touches the sky. And then in my hue saturation, you can see I have this colorized box check, and I'm making it blue, so you can see when I reveal that, I made my sky blue, and then I did a little bit of you can see where my layer mask is in this, and it's actually just kind of fading the sky in to make it look a bit more realistic. So then as we keep going, since we're still on my background layer, a good trick is that I separated my climber, and so you can see my climber layer here, and I actually made it much larger to fill a lot of the frame. And then on my background, I was able to just paint because of how my climber's layer, it's all cut very precisely. And so I was able to just paint wherever I wanted on the background layer to darken that up. And the way that I did that is with the brightness contrast layer, which is what I'm going to show you. And I had his pants were wrong color, so I made the purple with that last trick that I showed you guys here on my Patreon. We got some brightness contrast, and this is the technique I'm just about to show you guys. And then I also just incorporated my foreground in a little different, where I separated the foreground, I made it bigger, turned it a bit. So overall, this is where we're at now. I used a content-aware cropping to add in more on both these sides. You can see how it messed up a little up here, a little bit right here, and a little bit there. So we'll go and look at that in just a sec. But overall, what we're going to do right now is I need to add a vignette, just a slight vignette in only a few places where I need it. And so the way that I generally would do that is we're going to go to brightness contrast layer, well, Command I if you're on a Mac, Control I if you're on a PC. I'm pretty sure it's that command. But that'll invert your layer mask, make it all blacks. Black conceals, white reveals. So then over here on our brush, we make sure on brush, we can tap B. B is the shortcut. And we'll also make sure we're on white. If we're not, you can also tap X, and X will cycle through that. So now on our brightness layer, we're going to just drag this down, and so that way we'll be able to see what we brush in. You can see how I'm moving this. It's there, but it's not going to show anything until we go in here with our brush. And since it's a vignette, I'm mainly just wanting to vignette this left side of it. So I'm going to brush that just a whole bunch. And you can see how in my blanking layer mask, literally says right there. I'm tired. In my layer mask, you can see how it's still slowly starting to show in there. I'm actually going to take our flow up a bit. If you're ever wondering the difference between flow and opacity, flow builds on itself. So as you brush, if you have a 10% flow, the first brush stroke will be 10, and as you double back, it'll be 20, and double back, and it'll be 30, double back, it'll be 40. But opacity, you can put it on and double back as much as you want, and it won't ever keep stacking like your brush strokes until you let go of the mouse. And so it's just a cleaner way to do that. But I usually do it on flow because I like to stack my brush strokes. Yeah, so we're just going to finish, just kind of getting general. And you can also do \Q to show your layer mask. Computer's running real slow whenever I do a screen recording, so forgive me for that. Okay, there we go. Do a little down there. Right here more. Oh, whoops. Forgot, whenever you do the backspace key, it will also switch those. I have no idea why. Really annoying, but it happens, so. There we go. And like that. A little bit there. Okay, backslash again to hide your computer. Just freezing up. Hold up. There we go. What just happened? There we go. Okay, so now, sorry, my computer freaks out sometimes when I do screen recordings. So now you can see how, as I drag this, it's only going to affect that area that we wanted it in. And so we can drag this down a bit. Another thing that we can do that not too many, like, it's obvious, but not obvious unless you know about it. So with our brightness contrast layer, we usually know that with a normal layer, if we were to put a new layer here, go to our brush and just like paint some black on there, and then wait for this to stop freezing. Hold up. Should probably get a new computer sometime. Okay, so alright, there we go. So there's that black we just painted on there. We can go to the layer type, and we can click like overlay to get the blending one way. We can click soft light to get it blend another way. Soft light's usually my favorite. Soft light or overlay is the two most used. So we can blend light like that, but we can also use that on a brightness contrast layer. So if we go here, we go to soft light, now you can see it's going to blend a different way. So cycle through a couple of these, try to figure out what's going to look the best. Darken. Kind of like that one because it's a bit more like a muted. It's not going to draw attention because as we saw in this overlay one, it's very harsh and it's really saturating it. We don't really want that. And so, yeah, so we can just click here on darken. That should do it. You can also see the difference between darken and normal. It's not really much at all, actually. Yeah, and you can see we have a ton of different things. Let's try luminosity too. I actually kind of like the luminosity one. Let's play with that. So now we can also do our contrast. We don't want it too contrasty because that's just it'll draw your eye to it too much. But I'll make it a little darker now. I don't know, this might be saturating it too much. What we can also do though is if we do command click on our layer mask, it'll select that. And we can just tap here on Vibrance. It'll add that layer mask right in for us. And we can just take our Vibrance or saturation. Since it's an orange, saturation is going to affect that a little bit better. So let's drag that down a little bit. Pull make our saturation and Vibrance match up a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so now we have that. You can see that's what it was before. That's it now. It just kind of directs your eye a little bit more to our climber here. And now we're just going to go in and paint in a little bit more. So right here is a natural shadow, so we can paint in there. Actually, do not want that at 50. Usually have it around 8 or 9. Let's see. So our sun direction is coming from up here down this way. And so that's going to be shadowed. We can shadow this area. Pull our brightness contrast to affect that area too. A little bit down here. Click X and just drag it over all of Antonio to make sure he's not really being affected, because we don't want him to be darker. We want him to be the subject. See how it looks when we paint it down here. So that area is a little bit bright for my liking. Yeah, like that. Okay. Yeah, so that's my way of creating a vignette. You can see there's that before, now it's that. So it's just directing our eye. If we don't like how much it's going there, we can, I just did a Command G to form those two into a group after I selected them. And now I can just click on the group itself, click on opacity, we can drag that down, and it'll drag our vibrance and saturation, affect both those. So if that's a bit much, which I think it might be a little much, I can just drag that down a little bit. I think right there looks perfect. So leave it there. Command S to save. Tap F. It's another little Photoshop thing that I really enjoy. Is the F key. We'll cycle it between like the normal screen, a full screen with your tools, and a full screen without anything, so you can just view it on like a black background. So I can show you that here. So we tap F. Hold up, so computer. Okay, so you can see right here, this is our normal screen. We have everything is being shown. We can see our save bar right here, and like usually it'll also tell file size and all of that. We can just set it up to whatever we want. And we tap F again, and it goes to this. This is why I like to edit in, because you can drag your photo wherever we want. Because if we go back to this one, you can see I'm trying to drag the photo. It's not working just by using like 2 fingers on the MacBook Pro's touchpad. And we can't actually drag the photo until we zoom in and it's going off of there, and then we can drag the photo. So that's why I enjoy doing this full screen, because no matter what, you can put the photo wherever you want. I can have a big tool over here, minimize that one, make it really big, have this take up the left side of the screen. We can just do whatever we want. And then for viewing and making sure it all looks good, we can do this. Still zoom in or whatever, but now it's on a black background, so we can see it a little different. And it will show us, like the white background will really help you be able to focus on your highlights and that sort of stuff. Black background, I feel like it helps you focus on your shadows more. I usually edit with a white background, just because I like my photos to be bright and vibrant. But if you're going for a more like darker overall look, you might try editing with a black or a dark gray background, and it'll just kind of force your mind into to be able to edit in a certain style a little bit easier. So that's a little trick I use too.